Tragedy in Gerik, 15 UPSI students killed in horrific bus MPV crash. In the quiet hours of June 9, 2025, a heart-wrenching tragedy unfolded on Malaysia's east-west highway near Bandung, Gerik, in the state of Perak. A privately chartered bus transporting 42 students from Universiti Pendidikan Sultan Idris, UPSI, collided violently with a Perodua Alza MPV. The bus overturned shortly after impact, resulting in the deaths of 15 young students, most of them in their early 20s. 13 students were declared dead at the scene, while 2 others died later in the hospital. The tragic journey, which began as a return to campus after the Hari Raya Aidilada holidays, ended in devastating loss, sparking a national outcry and renewed attention on road safety in Malaysia. Victims and survivors, a community shattered. The bus had been privately chartered by the students themselves, many of whom hailed from the east coast town of Gerik. They were making their way back to the UPSI campus in Tanjung Malim. The Perodua Alza involved in the collision carried a couple and their 2 young children, aged 2 and 6. While the family survived with relatively minor injuries, the impact on the bus was catastrophic. A total of 33 passengers were injured, some critically. Rescue teams had to use hydraulic tools to free students trapped in the wreckage. Emergency responders from the Perak Civil Defense Force described the scene as one of the worst road accidents they had encountered in recent years. What went wrong? Speed, brakes, and dangerous roads. Initial investigations point to a combination of speeding, mechanical failure, and dangerous road conditions as likely causes. Witnesses and survivors described the bus as moving at a high speed and swerving erratically before the crash. Some passengers claimed they smelled something burning moments before the accident. One of the survivors mentioned that the bus appeared to lose control after hitting the MPV from behind. Dashcam footage recovered from another vehicle shows the bus overtaking recklessly just minutes before the collision. The driver later alleged that the bus's brakes failed, making it impossible to stop in time. The east-west highway, known for its winding turns, steep gradients, and poorly lit stretches, has a reputation for being perilous, particularly during night travel. Legal action and investigations. The driver of the bus, Muhammad Amirul Fadil Zulkifil, was arrested and charged with 15 counts of dangerous driving resulting in death, along with 1 charge of reckless driving. He pleaded not guilty in court. His public service vehicle, PSV, license was suspended immediately, and authorities began a comprehensive investigation into the bus company responsible for operating the vehicle. The Road Transport Department, JPJ, stated that both the driver and the bus operator could face further legal consequences under the Road Transport Act 1987. In the meantime, the driver has been released on bail under strict conditions, including a driving ban and mandatory police check-ins. The legal proceedings are scheduled to continue, with the next hearing set for July 14. National mourning and emergency support. The nation mourned deeply in the wake of the tragedy. Prime Minister Anwar Ibrahim expressed condolences to the victims' families and called for an immediate review of road safety protocols. The Higher Education Ministry, led by Minister Zambri Abdul Qadir, mobilized assistance for grieving families, providing RM2,000 for funeral expenses and RM1,000 as immediate financial relief. Perak state authorities also pledged RM1,000 to each affected family. UPSI quickly set up an operations center to coordinate updates, emotional support, and communication between students, families, and officials. Students across the country, particularly those from UPSI, held memorials and religious services to honor the victims, with hashtags like #UpSiBerduka and #DoaUntukUPSI trending across social media platforms. An ongoing crisis on Malaysian roads. As grief settled in, so too did growing criticism over Malaysia's ongoing road safety crisis. On average, the country reports around 18 road fatalities daily, making its roads among the most dangerous in Southeast Asia. This latest incident has highlighted long-standing concerns over the safety of chartered buses, especially those driven at night or without proper mechanical inspection. Advocates and transportation experts called for mandatory GPS tracking, stricter license verification for bus drivers, and better enforcement of speed regulations. Some have even called for certain sections of the east-west highway to be off-limits for heavy or passenger vehicles during nighttime hours. Systemic problems demand reform. The tragedy has also exposed serious gaps in public transportation oversight. Questions were raised about whether the bus underwent regular maintenance, if the driver had adequate rest before the trip, and whether the vehicle was overloaded. Public discourse quickly turned to larger systemic issues: the lack of stringent road safety education, outdated enforcement tools, and poor infrastructure on critical routes like the East-West Highway. Activists and NGOs demanded immediate legislative changes, including digital monitoring of long-distance buses and the installation of real-time vehicle diagnostic systems. The call for change. This accident, while horrific, could become a turning point in Malaysia's approach to road safety. The pain endured by the victims' families must not be in vain. Public pressure is mounting for both local and federal governments to take serious action. Road audits, emergency response upgrades, driver fatigue protocols, and harsher penalties for non-compliance are being widely discussed. Lawmakers have also been urged to prioritize funding for rural highway improvements, including better lighting, clearer signage, and frequent patrols by traffic enforcement officers. A nation reflects and remembers. In the end, the tragedy that struck on the East-West Highway is not just a tale of sorrow, it is a call to action. 15 young lives full of promise and ambition were lost due to a combination of avoidable factors. Their absence is now felt not just by their families and friends, but by a nation confronting the fragility of life on its roads. This moment must lead to meaningful change, so no parent has to bury their child because of an unsafe journey back to school. This heartbreaking tragedy in Gerik reminds us just how fragile life can be, and how urgently we need safer roads and stronger accountability. Our hearts are with the families and friends of the 15 UPSI students who lost their lives far too soon. If you believe more people should hear their story and that real change is necessary, please like this video, leave a comment, and subscribe to our channel. Turn on notifications so you never miss an important update. Let's honor the victims not just with grief, but with action. Thank you for watching. Stay informed, stay safe, and take care.